Hi, this is Ast3rix. I wanted to spend some time and show you another cool little utility that I found that's called the Blue Cat Patchwork Synth VST. There are some things in Reason that you can't do without a whole lot of crazy CV joining. And with the introduction of VSTs, it's become a little bit more complicated with trying to get things routed that are not normally routed like a player would be per se. I've been experimenting with this new plugin that I picked up recently. It's called the Phoscyon, and what it is it's a bass. It's a bass kind of instrument, and what it does is it acts like a kind of a rhythm player, but it's exclusively for bass lines. And this is kind of old school, like from back in the day, where they used to make devices like this. So what it does, and this is just an example, you've probably have heard some of this, like the sounds like this. And if I'm not mistaken, I've heard this like on Daft Punk's album that they did for Triton. At the end of one of those clips, it's straight up out of Triton. But it's a really cool plugin because it allows you to be able to manipulate like ARP with the bass. And you have, it's kind of limited though from a sound perspective because you can only do square and sawtooth waves, and if you're akin to like playing with sound design, it has a lot of functionality where you can change the attacks, the delay of the sounds, also add a whole bunch of distortion with the section right here. But I'm not using it like that today. I'm going to show you how I'm using it. Let me ditch that. So I actually love the here, now let me just get cleaned up here. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. So let me open up the plugin again. I actually love the Korg collection, and in the Korg collection there is a synth in there called the Workstation. And if you're a Korg fan, you know that the Workstation was way back in the 80s. This is like a really old synth that Korg ported out to VST, which is actually kind of cool. I'm really glad that a lot of the keyboard manufacturers from back in the day, like Korg and Roland and the others, are moving things more into the software realm, since mostly we're moving away from that workstation methodology. Because you can get more use out of a software plugin versus a piece of hardware that you have to lug around with you. Now you can just take your laptop with you and get, pretty much perform anywhere. But I've been playing with the Workstation, and right now I'm messing with this bank number RAM Bank 2, and there's a sound in there called ZZ Lead. I'll just show you what I've done with it. So I added the Cyclocon as my primary MIDI device, and within the Blue Cat Patchwork you have to actually tell it what direction that you want the MIDI to flow. So my Cyclocon, I have it going output port A, and on the Workstation side I have the MIDI coming in from everywhere, so it doesn't matter where it's coming from. But if you want to be more exclusive, if you have other MIDI devices that you may be using in the rack, you can select just port A, and then select the channel as well. But I have it selected for all, which is okay for my case because I only have one MIDI device that I'm using in the rack. Okay, so with that, here I'll just show you what I came up with from a sound perspective by doing that. So instead of using the the sounds that come with the cyclocon, I'm just basically using it as a like a synth per se, or a sequencer per se. So this is kind of what I'm messing with. And see, by using the cyclocon, it gives you like that old school kind of glitchy things that may happen with the equipment, which is really kind of cool. Like this one has a weird break in there. But it's very random. Okay, so after I did that, I wanted to do like just kind of a basic drum, kind of forward to the floor kind of sound. And yes, this is my Daft Punk emulation video. I've always wanted to do one, so this is my chance. Okay, so I dropped in an umph player or an umph rack extension, and then I've got a drum sequencer in there, and I'm just doing a basic forward to the floor with that. So I'll just play that. All right, here we go. Alright, so we got like a nice little groove going with it. But then I wasn't really happy with that. So then I wanted to add like some layers, some drum layers. So I pulled one of my drum patches or drum sounds out of my vast crazy Rex audio loop library, and I came up with this, and I'll just play this so you can hear what it sounds like without all the other things going. This is just a basic drum loop. So it allows me to be able to layer drums that normally wouldn't probably go together. So that's what it is with layered forward to the floor. So it gives it like a little bit of bounce. And I'm going to add the cyclocon back in there. Okay. So now I need a little bit of filler. So we're going to add some strings in there, or a synthy string rather. And I've been using the viral Aquos X4, which is a real popular rack extension. Vocals in there. Without the cyclocon. So the cyclocon gives you like a really kind of an up-tempo rhythm going with it. again, the only way that I was able to make this happen is using the Blue Cat Audio Patchwork Synth VST. Now this is pretty, I would consider this as a utility, and as for utility, to me utility shouldn't be expensive, but you know, it is what it is. This thing is like 99 bucks, but it's actually very useful because you can add additional layers in here. So if I wanted to add another keyboard or you know, another layer of sounds in here to add with it, I could. So it is a very useful utility, and for the price you actually get what you pay for. So from a price perspective, it is pretty useful. So that's all I really wanted to show you and get a chance to be DJ Ast3rix. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave the comments at the bottom of the video.